Hi guys, welcome to Vofex's channel. Let us begin the video. Kao the Kangaroo is a third-dimensional platform game series of Polish origin. Contrary to what many might imagine, this is not the first title in the series. The first title in the series, which was also titled as Kao the Kangaroo, was initially released exclusively for the computer only in its home country, Poland, and was very successful, remaining among the 10 best-selling games in the country for several months, which led to the worldwide launch of the game on December 8, 2000 for the last console produced by Sega, the Dreamcast, and also for the computer. Subsequently, on December 11, 2001, the Game Boy Advance received a game of Kangaroo, which, despite being a totally different game from the version that was released the previous year for the Sega, Dreamcast, and PC, received the same title, Kao the Kangaroo, the direct sequel to the first game. The version released for Dreamcast and PC was titled Kao the Kangaroo Round 2, and was released on November 4, 2003 for PC, and later appeared for Xbox, GameCube, PlayStation 2, and in June 2019, it was added to the Steam library. In 2005, a remake of this game was made, which was called Kao Challengers, and was released for the PlayStation Portable PSP. The third title in the main series was titled Kao the Kangaroo Mystery of the Volcano, and released in December 2005 exclusively for the computer. After that, the game stopped receiving sequels until at the initiative of a campaign carried out by fans of the series asking for the return of the friendly Kangaroo games. The game producer decides to launch this new title, Kao the Kangaroo, on May 27, 2022 for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC computer via Steam. This new game is the fourth title in the series, but it is not a direct sequel to the previous games, much less a remaster or remake, but a complete reboot. That is, it is a new game which presents a total reinterpretation of the previous games and is being released for all current platforms: Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC. If you are interested in better understanding the meaning of these tricks used by game producers, check out our special article in which we explain the difference between remakes, reboots, and remasters. The story of this new game, which is titled simply as Kao the Kangaroo, starts with the main character Kao having a nightmare about his sister, and when he wakes up, he realizes that his sister Kaya is really missing and decides to set off in search of her and her father, Kobe, who has also been missing for a long time. So he goes in search of his family, and for that, he has the help of a martial arts trainer, a koala named Walt, and also the magic boxing gloves, which were his father's. That's how, after the initial presentation, you start to control Kao in this platform game in the third dimension, full of jumps, crashes, puzzle solving, and full of different items for you to collect and enemies to face during your journey, in which you will guide Kao in exploring a wide variety of beautiful, colorful, and extremely detailed environments, each holding many secrets to discover as you progress through the game. Especially in the early stages, Kyle will be discovering the challenges he will face, and he will have to improve the skills he already has. At the same time, he will learn some new ones from time to time. A crab will teach you new moves and attacks, something similar to what happens in the first Banjo-Kazooie game released in 1998 for the Nintendo 64. Another similarity with the rare game is the huge amount of collectibles you'll have in each level, and also in the 4 hubs, which are the worlds that allow access to the input of the phases. As for the style of gameplay, this game is very similar to the games in the main series of Crash Bandicoot, as it features stages with a linear progression in which most of the time you will have to follow a certain path to reach the end of the stages. Even the famous frenetic phases in which we are chased by some giant enemy exists here. At times, there will be the possibility of following more than one path, but you will soon realize that one of these paths only takes you to an important item or piece in the game. Speaking of the items that must be collected in each stage, we have the rune crystals, which are pieces that open the gates of the next stages of the game, and therefore are very important to be able to progress in the game. Coins, diamonds, scrolls, chest pieces of heart in Zelda style, in addition to the 3 letters that form the name of the main character, the Kao. In each level, you will have to collect the letters in the same style of the letters that form the word "com" in the games of Donkey Kong. Overall, all items are very easy to collect. Although some of them are hidden, there is almost no difficulty for you to find each one of them. The game's levels as well as the graphics in general are not impressive, but they are very beautiful and colorful in the style of a humorous and caricatured cartoon, the famous cartoon. All environments are very well made and pleasing to the eye. Yeah, due to the graphic style that was adopted by the game's producer. But although the game was developed in Unreal Engine 4, it has some issues with frame rate drops, cut, scene transition breaks, aliasing pop-in, and texture issues, especially in the Nintendo Switch version of the game. The game starts on the island of Kao, which is the first hub, is a place full of items for you to collect and without any enemies. This world will give you passage to the first stages. The stages are diversified. We have forests, islands with the traditional stages with lots of water, mountains of ice, with areas where we have to slide and dodge enemies chase stages, in which a giant gorilla on top of a huge barrel runs after of the cow, and even circuses on floating islands. In each world, you will find a boss to defeat. Bosses usually present some kind of puzzle that must be solved, and only after that you can attack him. Although the puzzles have variations, in general, the difficulty level is quite low. The same goes for enemies that are located within the stages. The fights are simple and you just have to press the same buttons and you will win, which makes the game very easy. In fact, the game as a whole has a low difficulty level, and when we add this to the beautiful and colorful graphics, it shows us that the game is highly recommended for children, who should be very pleased with the characters and enemies who are sometimes funny, colorful graphics, beautiful and vibrant in the level of difficulty that allows anyone to easily reach the end of the game in a few hours. After all, this is not a very long game. The total campaign can be completed with an average of 6 hours of gameplay. This is a fun game, but it's no match for the Mario Brothers games, Banjo, Kazoo, and Crash Bandicoot. This is not to say that the game is bad, far from it. This game is very good, but it leaves a feeling that for very little this game could have become something much bigger. In summary, Kao the Kangaroo is the classic platform game in the third dimension. Like the first games of the genre, it's a great game for those who want a quick experience to relax. Casual gamers, longing, series fans, and kids. The game has a beautiful, colorful, vibrant, and cheerful look, but it doesn't bring any innovation to the genre, so although it's worth checking out, it's not quite an essential game for fans of platform games.